Episode of Trap Talk. I'm your host, Zach Nannini. I'm here with my co-host, Richard Marshall, and our good friend, Slow Joe Charnigo. Mr. Joe, how's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing tonight?
It's a good day. It's a good night. We're all from different parts of the country. I'm in St. Charles, Missouri. Ricky, where are you at?
I'm in Billings, Montana, teaching lessons out here for 7 days. So, yep.
See, Ricky's so busy now that we got to do Trap Talk from the road. So he's just he tunes in and gives us what he's got. Me and Joe are at our home palaces, and Ricky just tunes in from the Holiday Inn. So it's what we got to do.
Life of a celebrity.
You got to do what you got to do to make them ducats.
So Joe, you've been on the show several times, and we've talked a lot about your shooting career. We've talked a lot about differences in etiquette and trap shooting, and just kind of had a lot of good conversations with you. So we love having you on. But today we wanted to talk a little bit about the Ohio State shoot, and we also wanted to talk about this back fence shootout. So we're really excited to hear about it. We know that you're pretty much the spearhead of it. So just to get started, I mean, do you want to start with Ohio? Do you want to start with the shootout, or where would you like to go?
I guess we can start with Ohio. I mean, that's the bulk of what everybody's going to be coming for is what they know, the standard Ohio State championship. It's one of the greatest state shoots in the country. Money-wise, we've got some good money in our handicap events and doubles events and all that, which is a pretty good draw for a lot of people. We get a lot of competition out here, high points factor. And we got
it's a 7, right, Rick, or what is it? A 6 or a 7? A 6.
Well, it's 6 normally. It can be a 7 depending on maybe this will bring out some more shooters.
How long have you been going to Ohio, Rick?
The 90s.
Okay, so very long time. Back when it used
to be in Vandalia, I've been at every Ohio State shoot at the Cardinal Center. But I want to say, Zach, my first Ohio State shoot was 90. When did Pat go? Pat went in 98. Could have been 96 maybe, or 97. I was going at Ohio. That's why I used to shoot with Pat and Dana Dobson, Steve Stedman, and Jerry Phillips in Vandalia when we had the Ohio State shoot there.
Bunch of bangers.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So, great deal.
Joe, you've been going there your whole life?
Yeah, since I think 98 is when I joined the ATA. So I've been probably going, I want to say since 2002 for sure. I went in the Vandalia days as a sub-junior and as a junior down there. It was right at the beginning of my career, and I'm sad. I didn't really know what I was missing back then, and now it was a fond memory of when I started for sure.
So in your own words, Joe, why should people pick Ohio as the state shoot that they add to their list of shoots every year?
I mean, you got some of the strongest competition that's there. You've got a high points factor for the guys that want to chase the All-American points and get their points and work their way up for the All-American team. We've got a great facility, Cardinal, down there. I mean, they've been working at it and keeping things going. We've had some struggles and bumps along the way, but you're going to have that anywhere. But I really do feel that they're trying to turn things around and make it as good of a shoot as they can make it. It's easy to get to. I mean, if you're Columbus, Ohio, you can fly in there. You can travel there from anywhere. It's easy to get hotels or go out to dinner. I mean, 25 minutes south of there is Polaris, and there's every restaurant that you could possibly think of to go out to eat. So it's really nice with that. The campground there is huge. There's I've had a cabin there for years now, and we always camp down there. And it's just the atmosphere is fun. After the shoot, hang out, have a good time, and sometimes we have a little bit too much fun.
Sometimes we get a little too crazy, but
we like having fun. So I'm a newborn to this whole Ohio State shoot. Last year was my first year at Ohio State shoot, and I remember the one night after me and Ricky got done doing the podcast, we went over it was Dead Pair podcast, right, Rick?
Yep.
So we went over and hung out with the Dead Pair guys, and then Joe messaged us and says, "Hey, maybe we could have a little after dinner drinky." And so we ended up. What was the name of that bar that we went to? What's it called?
what is it, like Ohio Fire or something? They've changed the name of it a few times.
Yeah,
it was the old
right
farm.
there at the complex. Yeah, it was the old Farmstead restaurant. But
so anyone that hasn't been to Ohio State Shoot, like the gun club is like literally 500 yards away from what looks like a gas station type of like parking lot, but there's a restaurant in there and a really, I mean, pretty impressive bar. I mean, we were in there playing pool, throwing darts. You know, we had a couple Weller 107s, and so it's pretty much the hangout. The hangout spot of the shooters at the end of the day. Is that am I fair to say that?
Absolutely. And lunch,
you can
for lunch specials, it's just a great place to go hang out.
Yeah, and you can drive your side-by-side, your golf cart up to the restaurant. Then also, Zach, for people that are camping there, because they got a ton of camping spots, but they also have a laundromat right there that is owned by the family that is very clean, nice, that you can do your laundry at and stuff. But yeah, that restaurant, you were there just for a little bit, and then you said your Irish goodbye, slipped out the back door.
Hey, listen,
when
you're dealing with real professionals, the secret is the Irish goodbye. So everyone listening, if you're gonna hang out with these guys, sometimes you just got to slide out when you see it going south. There's no way out of that.
You know what? You can have as much fun as you want. It's okay.
So while we're on the topic of food and beverage, and I'm Italian, Joe, so I'm used to good cuisine. I've never really thought of Ohio as a place where I want to go get good cuisine. But is there any good spots around the state shoot that you like to hit up, or fun every year spots that you recommend for people that haven't been there?
I mean, for me, honestly, I hit the bar at the entrance of the club there. It's easy. I don't have to leave the grounds. I jump on the side-by-side, go up there. The food is really good. They got great pizzas, good lunch specials up there. If we're looking to get away and get a little bit of a break, we'll go down to Pillas, and there's anything you can imagine to go eat down there. If you want to go out for a fancy steakhouse dinner, you can. If there's anything in particular you want to go to, you can find down there.
Yeah, and that's only like 15, 20 minutes away, right?
Yeah, I'd
30 minutes.
20 minutes or so.
Yeah,
because Rick, you went down with your whole family down to like the big malls down there, didn't you? I mean,
there's the big mall down there, and then there's a Cabela's down there. There's one of the places we'll go eat is Matt the Miller Pub, which they have hamburgers that are huge down there. Good, drinks and stuff. But there's quite a few. I mean, there's got to be 50 restaurants down there, Zach.
Yeah,
they got Top Golf down there too. That if you want to get away with, I know Tyler and the kids have done that stuff before, and it's fun for them, But the complex
there's just a lot of amenities. I mean, some state shoots, I'm not going to lie, are in the middle of nowhere. So literally, you go out and you're like, okay, I'm at the shoot, but you might have a Holiday Inn or you might have this or that. But there's a few gun clubs in the country, like 1 San Antonio, 2 the MTA, 3 Ohio, like where you're in the middle of a bunch of infrastructure where you can go do a ton of really cool stuff. And I think that makes it more fun for the whole family. And not to mention the camping at Ohio is absolutely immaculate and beautiful. And I love the idea of those cabins. I'm sure those are pretty hard to get though, right, Joe?
Yeah, they're pretty hard to get on the list to get those. And luckily, I've been going there so long and know enough people. I was able to get into something early on with that. But it's just a great place to come to. Bring the family, send the wife or the kids down to Columbus, to Polaris. They can go shopping. They can go to IKEA. They can go to Top Golf. There's the outlet malls down there. There's plenty for them to do. And then the kids around the campground ride their bikes around, ride the golf carts around and stuff. They have cornhole tournaments. Yeah, they got an indoor pool there.
Pool.
There's a lake that they can go fishing in there. So there's just a ton of different things they can do. They've got the sporting clays course that's on the backside of the property. You can go shoot sporting clays in between or afterwards. They've got international bunker over there, skeet. There's rifle pistol ranges. There's just so many amenities right there at the complex. It makes it a great place to go and enjoy.
Yeah, there's so much there. Like you said, we got the pool and the pond. A pond would be good for you, Zach. Natural.
Yeah, I mean, I get a little hot, so sometimes I need to take a little dunk. You know what I mean? Just cool this Italian down. There's not enough gelato in Ohio to get me cool. So Joe, I mean, I appreciate you kind of giving people that haven't been there, because I know I've heard probably a few squads of people saying they're coming now because of this shootout and they've never been to Ohio. So I wanted to give them a little bit of heads up and some tips on, what they could check out and where they could go. But transitioning, I'm really, really excited about this back fence shootout. So tell me, what is it? How did it come up, and what was the idea behind it?
So, like many of the great ideas we come up with, it was after a shoot, sitting around drinking some bourbon and discussing what we thought the ultimate shoot would be. And the conversation came up. I think it was Pat McCarthy and Bobby Kaplinger and Steve Corwin, a few other people. We were sitting around having some bourbon after the Indiana State shoot, and we were talking about the true champion of like the Grand American handicap champion, that every one of us felt that the Grand American handicap champion should be a 27-yard line shooter, somebody who's earned it, put the time in, and really put the effort forth and shot it from the back fence. And our idea with this is it's usually, I don't know, $200 to $225 if you look at a handicap ticket at most shoots to play the full ticket, all the options, all in. And we came up with the idea of making a $200 buy-in that everybody has to pay the $200. So if you're going to shoot it, man, woman, child, doesn't matter, veteran, you're going to pay $200 and get into this. And everybody's money goes in towards the pot, which is going to make better payouts for everybody, and it's going to pay down through farther. We've got it set up with a $10 from the 200 goes towards a high gun. So whoever shoots the high score, say it's a 98, if there's 2 or 3 of them, whatever it is, they're going to shoot off for that high gun money, that $10, winner take all for that, and have a pretty cool shoot off, hopefully, for something like that. Make it where there's a good purse for that. You get 200 people, that's $2,000. 300 people, that's $3,000 to shoot off for one place, winner take all. And then, so it's $200 buy-in, $10 goes to that. $50 is going to be for targets, and we're also doing a donation that's going to go to the Ohio State Foundation. Try to give back. They use that for the scholarship funds and stuff. So if people say, "Oh, $50, what's the target cost?" We are taking some of that money and donating it back to the Ohio State Foundation and trying to put it to good use and help out with that type of stuff for scholarships.
Yeah, because correct me if I'm wrong, they're basically donating the facilities and the ability to run this thing because it is not technically part of the high overall at the Ohio State shoot. This is a non-registered event, correct?
Exactly. This is a non-registered event. It's kind of a fun shoot, but there's going to be money at it. Yeah, a fun shoot, but with a chance to win some money. It's like the ultimate handicap shootout, but everybody shoots from the 27-yard line.
So I love that. And, we talk a lot about the history of the game. We talk about nostalgia. And, Rick, there was a lot more money in the game back in the day because everyone pretty much played, right? I mean, was that the case?
Yeah, I mean, people, they played the money. They didn't – I mean, I was 16 years old going to shoots playing the ticket, on the 27 at every shoot I went because I wanted to win. I had the mindset to this is what I want to do. I want to win versus – now I see a lot of it of, well, I can't beat you. I can't beat Joey Charnigo. I can't beat Zach Nannini. I can't beat, Keith Ditto. The list, I could name 100 people that they would say. Well, when I was growing up shooting in the heydays, and I missed the heydays, the real heydays, but my heydays, I had the attitude that, shooting against Leo Harrison III, our greatest trap shooter ever, that I would stand side by side with him and play the money because I knew I could win. So that's kind of the different mindset of people. Now they would say things like that. And if you have that mindset, it's not good. That's why I always say, listen, I understand it could be a financial reason why you don't play it. That's all fine, but go out there with the mindset that you can win. Not that I can't beat Joey or,
I think there's a lot to be said about that mindset. And one thing you've always told me is you either play all the money or you don't. but like you're either in or you're out. I mean, mentally, because if it's a financial thing, which it could be for some people, and you just enjoy the sport and you make your money some other way, then that's totally understandable. You could still be going out there to win. You're never thinking about the money. But if you are, playing it to hit those purses, I mean, you might as well get into those purses, in my opinion, at some level. Go compete.
Here's the thing I'll say about that is, so one of the things is nowadays compared to in the past, I think there was a lot more shooters, and you can pull the numbers up from the Ohio State shoot when we shot it in Vandalia. We had a lot more shooters shooting Ohio State shooting Vandalia. Even the first 4, 5, 6 years at the Cardinal Center, it was bigger. So the numbers, you get more money in it with the people, okay? Now, you're not, I mean, this isn't a deal where you're going to, make a living off of it or anything, but it's one of those that, hey, I play the money because I want to win, and if I do good, I'm going to get a little bit back, versus some people, like you said, they maybe do something else. They like to spend their money otherwise, and that's all fine. In 2008, when the housing crash kind of happened, it took a lot of people's extra money, and they started like, let's hoard this. And that's, hey, it is what it is. But you look at target cost now, that's hurt a little bit. You look at shell cost, that's hurt a little bit, of course. But if you really look at it, the purses haven't changed as far as went up with the inflation or anything.
The buy-in has stayed the same with
the buy-in. The buy-in has stayed the same. The target cost has gone up. The buy-in has stayed the same. And so really, value-wise, in my mind, if target price is going up and options are staying the same, it's cheaper now to put the option money on than it's ever been. I mean, I remember when targets were $25 100, and it was still $200 to get into the events. And Rick, you probably
the cheapest targets. The cheapest targets I ever shot,
$12.
$9 100 at the Utah State shoot one year. Wow. That was the target cost. You could shoot the Howard Brawl was $90. 1,000 targets. No, it might have been 900 targets. Thought it was $81 or something. It was like, I mean, for under $100. But we're going back when I was a kid. So, but it was crazy because they still had the Lewis was still like $20 and with everything was like $120. Then you had your targets at like $129 to shoot. It was like.
I always hear the saying, we used to shoot $500 guns to win $20,000. Now we shoot $20,000 guns to win $500.
It is what it is.
What it is.
I want to get into this breakdown with you a little bit more, Joey, so I understand. You said $10 goes to the high gun, right, out of the 200, and that's going to be shot off. So an example, if there's 300 shooters, that's $3,000 to the first guy, right? I mean,
exactly.
Is it ties divide or is
no? It's going to be winner take all for that $10 portion of it.
So winner take all. So the winner of the deal, the high score, or the winner of the shoot off is going to get his own pot. And if it's 300 people, that's going to be $3,000. Now, on top of that, you said you're going to have a Great Eastern purse. Now, I know a lot of people don't understand what a Great Eastern purse is. So could you explain that to the listeners?
Yeah, so it's 6 places what it pays, and this whole thing, the way I have it set up, I don't have this geared or set up to the top shooters that they're going to win all the money and take all the money. I have this set up so that it's going to pay all the way down through. So like the top shooter is the only one that gets to double dip on any options. That $10 high gun thing, whoever wins that and has the high score is going to double dip and get into the top place of the Great Eastern money. So the Great Eastern purse gets split into 6 places. It'll be 25%, 15%, 10%, first, second, third, and then fourth, fifth, and sixth is also 25%, 15%, 10%. So the fourth place shooter has the same amount of money that they're shooting for as the first place shooter. So
greatest purse ever.
Yeah, it's a really good purse. It gives everybody an opportunity to hit something for those guys to say, oh, I can't beat the top guys. Well, if you can, the way I have this set up, if you can place in the top 7 and everybody's shooting from the 27-yard line, so let's just say a 97 is high. If you can break a 90 or better, you're going to be guaranteed in the money and probably make your money back, if not, and then some for sure.
Yeah, and that's what I really like about this, because I mean the first 6 scores, I mean, okay, a 98 comes in the clubhouse. You're not that guy. You have a 97, a 96, a 95, or a 94, or even a 93, right? All the way down to 93 from a 98. You're getting paid, and you're probably getting all your money back on that day, and you don't have to be the winner of the event to scratch and get above even on your money, right? Now, once you get through that first 6 scores, I know you were telling me about, is it a modified Lewis, or what kind of Lewis is it?
Yeah, so what I came up with is a modified Lewis. And what we're doing, normally with a Lewis class, it pays the high gun, and then it'll go down a few places and pay down through. So your top guy's going to double dip normally on that. I'm setting this up different, where the top guy does not double dip on that. So my Lewis class, there'll be $65 from every entry that goes into the Lewis class. It'll be 5 classes there, and it's going to start at 7th place. So after the last payout of the Great Eastern, the first Lewis class number is going to start there and pay down through. And we'll use the standard Lewis calculation. They'll take the amount of shooters, divide it up, and it'll pay down through that way to come up with those class numbers. Now, the cool thing
for the people that might not know how a Lewis works, it's the high number is always guaranteed to pay out, and then it's pretty much gambling after that, because you're dividing it into categories or divides or splits. So if there's 100 people that played that Lewis, or 100 people in the event, the top score of the first 20 is going to get paid, and then the top score of the next 20 is going to get paid, and then the top score of the next 20 is going to get paid. Correct, Rick? That's how that's going to.
Yeah, I mean, and a modified Lewis. What Joey's saying though, Zach, is it will not pay the top shooter.
It's going to pay the top score after the Great Eastern.
The top score of 7th place. Well, so if you have, like Joey said, 97's high, so it's going to pay 97 to 91 in there. So you got, 97 to 92, right? 97, 96, 95, 94, 93, 92. So 91 will pay. Now, we'll just say this. Say there's one person that breaks a 91. Now, how's your modified split, Joey? Is it paid 60%, 40, or what's the?
So the way I did it is I split it up into 5 classes at 20% per class. So 7th place will get 20% of that Lewis money. And then
so you're getting 5, so it's 100%,
5 even
5
splits.
Categories, 20s. So you're going to get 20%. So just say if it's a $65 entry and you have 100 people in it, that's $6,500. Now take 20% of that, that's $1,300 paying.
Yeah.
Bam. So you could realistically, listen, folks, break a 90. You could break an 82.
Well, yeah, because we're gonna put a little example. We're gonna send it to John of kind of how these payouts work, because Joey did a good job of writing it out. But I mean, the example he sent me had 300 shooters in it, and with 300 shooters, I mean, there's 4,200 in each break. And the way the Lewis paid out, I mean, 92 in this example, he's saying 92 hit, 90 hit, 88 hit, 86 hit, and then 83 hit. And what I was really impressed with Joe and him taking the time to build this information out was he used actual scores from an actual event that they had there. So he went and just pulled, a normal day's shoot and normal entries and scatter plotted out and ran the numbers as if everyone actually played this. And, the guy that hit an 83 that day, there was, 17 way split, made $250, right? So, you don't have to feel like you have to be the top gun shooter in the world to go and join this event, because there's a lot of benefits to it, and I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, and these are just like the beginning of the fun. This is just the money side. I've also got Gun and Trophy Insurance donated 5 200-pack leather bags that are engraved with their name on it and stuff. Ohio State Shoot, Gun and Trophy Insurance. And what we're going to do with those bags, because most of the time the guys who hit the Lewis class aren't the guys that get to win these really nice bags. And in trap shooting, everybody wants to win a 200-pack leather bag.
He sent me the bags.
Yeah. So they're done, they're completed, and they look really good. And what we're going to do is whatever Lewis class scores hit. So if you hit money in the Lewis class, you're also going to shoot off, say 89s. Everybody who shot an 89 is going to go shoot off at 10 birds, 2 per post, to win one of these leather bags. Each Lewis class is going to win those. So there's 5 people, each one of those Lewis classes, that's going to get a 200-pack leather bag for winning the Lewis class, not necessarily winning the shoot.
That is not going to go to the top gun of the day. It's not going to go to anywhere in the top 6. It's going to be 7th score on. So realistically, we're talking 91-92 range. Anywhere that can shoot 91-92 or lower is probably going to be right in the money on winning an opportunity at shooting for these bags, correct?
Exactly. They're gonna win money in the Lewis class, and then they're also going to get a chance to shoot off, have a good time out there shooting off, having fun, and win a really nice bag that they can be proud of and tote around all year to the shoots.
Now, in addition to this, I heard there's some more giveaways. What other giveaways are you having at this event, Joe?
So we've got you guys, Trap Talk from the Back Fence has donated a buckle. So the champion, whoever's going to win the whole shoot with that the $10 money to shoot off for all that, is also going to win a really nice Molly custom engraved belt buckle. So there's a really good champion prize to shoot for with this. So I appreciate you guys doing that and stepping up and helping out with that. I think that's going to be really cool.
Yeah, no problem. And Ricky did a good job going on Molly's with John and designing this thing. And so I mean, we all had a little input on it, but Ricky winning more than 1 or 2 buckles in his life, he knows how to design a buckle that looks nice. So,
yep. Awesome. So yeah, that's going to be awesome. And then the big prize that we're going to give away, and this is something. So I've got friends all over the industry and stuff, and I talked with Beretta, and they haven't done much in the trap world in a long time. So they agreed to sponsor and donate a DT11 combo that we're going to draw a random number like they do over in Pennsylvania for the Krieghoff Challenge. We're going to draw a number, and whatever number that is, if your score ends in that number, if it's a 2, 92, 82, 72, 62, 52, 42, all the way down, if your score ends in that, we're going to shoot off and give away a Beretta DT11 combo. So that's going to be real good incentive for everybody on your $200 bet. Not only do you get to shoot for the $200 at 100 targets, you got a chance at all these other money options that we're going to give away, the chance at the leather bags, a chance at the buckle, and a chance at the Beretta DT11, which is really cool. And I was glad that they were. I mean,
I've paid $100 or $200 for raffle tickets where I don't get to shoot, I don't get an opportunity, I don't get anything. I just get to put my name in a hat, right? So, this is a no-brainer for me. If you're at the Ohio State shoot this year and you can go there and shoot 100 targets from the fence, all the competition being equal, have an opportunity to win your money, have an opportunity to go shoot for a leather bag, and have an opportunity to shoot for a brand new gun. I mean, where in the country are we doing this? I mean, this is the first of its kind, right? I mean, nobody's done an event like this before, probably ever.
Yep. And it's something I've heard about the stories from the Vandalia days from years ago where they used to shoot off for guns. Perazzi would give away guns. They'd give away cars, and they would have these great giveaways and stuff. And then at the end of the day, there'd be the beer tent. Everybody would go to the beer tent and hang out and have a good time. White Flyer has stepped up, and they're doing a cookout for us. So we're going to do a cookout, pulled pork from a friend of mine, Travis Hutchins. He's going to come and have a smoker. He's going to cook pulled pork for everybody on the grounds. You're welcome to come up to the grandstands that night. If you're on the grounds, come up there, get some food, enjoy it, hang out, watch the shoot-offs. We want to bring back the family atmosphere, the fun, everybody hanging out at the end, because these days everybody shoots. They go back to their camper. They sit in their camper. They look at the phone. They look at scores. They're not going out. They're not hanging out with everybody. We're trying to bring everybody together and create a community.
Everybody's going to come out on Friday the 21st, and they're going to be involved in this event. And it sounds like we're going to have a good time eating. We're going to have a good time shooting. And then after we get done with winning, we might have a few celebratory cocktails, hopefully, right?
Joey, you and I will. Zach will Irish goodbye us again.
Yeah.
I might have to.
And there is talk. Flatten your tires.
I can only take so much. I'm only a human.
There is talk that there might be a beer truck, too, so we might have beer afterwards, too. Obviously, we don't want you drinking and shooting off or anything like that, so wait at the end, obviously, to see
we're going to keep the taps closed until after the event's over, but once the event's over, it's a wide-open deal, right?
Absolutely. So we should have a lot of fun. Really looking forward to it. We've also got SLS Clays has helped us. they are going to do pre-squad for this. So that's going to be a question that people are going to ask, where do I sign up? Where do I do this? I think we're going to set up by the central entry building and have a computer set up. They're going to be there. Greg Pink offered to come out and help us out and run the books on this and handle the cashiering on it and the payouts and pre-squatting and all that. So you can go on.
That's a big ordeal. I mean, at the end of the day, I know, Ohio's running their shoot, right? And this is kind of an additional thing. And it was very, very gracious of them to say, yeah, you can use the facility and we could, have this event. But at the end of the day, Joe, I mean, between you and Greg and a few other people, I mean, you're putting this whole thing together scratch, and it's like its own little event. Its own
shoot
on its own. It's its own little shoot, right?
Yep. It's its own shoot, and it is a fun shoot. I want everybody to know that it's a fun shoot. It's not all just about the money and throwing another event. This is a fun shoot. We want everybody to come out and enjoy it. It's not part of the HOA. It's not part of any of that. It gives some of the guys who are short yardage shooters come out and shoot from the 27-yard line. I don't know how many.
And if you haven't shot from the 27 yet, and you could shoot 100 birds from back there and see how you do. I mean, I think that'd be a great event, and I really think that the Lewis scores are definitely going to skew because you're going to have a lot of people that aren't 27-yarders in there. So I think if we look at the average of all the scores, I think lower scores are going to hit in that Lewis payout than like traditionally expected.
Hey,
I mean,
you look at it. If there's 300 shooters, you got $19,500 in that Lewis at 20%. That's $3,900.
Yeah,
you could realistically have a loaner, and actually that potentially it's going to pay more than the $10.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's why I say, folks, it's not about. That's when Joey came up with this and talked to us about it too. Listen, I looked at that and I was like, okay, it's not a like high gun purse only.
Yeah, this is
$200 entry,
not everybody
$50. Yeah.
You're not trying to throw in the money just so the top three guys wins. Everybody's going to get a chance at this, and that's
and look at this.
Beautiful thing.
So you got the Great Eastern Purse, which the Great Eastern Purse was invented from Great Eastern Gun Club from Aiden Kaufman. You know, and Aiden's a Hall of Fame shooter. I mean, he did so much. He helped build the Cardinal Center. Actually, helped build it. And I remember when he came up with that purse. And it finally got out, it was like, originally people were like, oh, this is for the top shooters. Now, I've been on that fortunate end of hitting the fourth place by myself.
I love fourth.
I did. I remember there was 200s in the handicap, and then for U9s, several 8s, and then I had the only 97. And boom, I
mean, hey. You made more than the top two. You made more than the 200s.
Yeah, exactly.
So Joe, I mean, we've talked about this event. We've talked about why they should come to Ohio. Is there anything we're missing here today? Is there anything other people you'd like to thank, or any announcements that we should talk about before we get out of here today?
I mean, I just want to thank everybody for listening, and hopefully they come out and they're able to join us and partake in this. I think it's going to be a fun event. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are skeptical or don't really understand how it works. If you've got questions, stop and talk to me at a shoot. Ask Ricky and Zach. I've talked to them quite a bit about it. So don't be gun shy on it and not want to sign up because you think it's just for the top guys. This is it. I've geared it to pay out throughout. And to offer the prizes for the lower scores in this game, because
even just the opportunity to shoot for those leather bags, those 5 beautiful leather bags. I mean, those are 8-box bags. I mean, they're hand woven. I mean, they're beautiful.
Who did the bags, Joe?
They're a Shamrock bag and Gun and Trophy.
So those are what, $300-$400 bags easily?
Absolutely, yeah. They're real expensive.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Side packs and everything on them. They're not just a basic bag. So he went out with them. Larry Cushman at Gun and Trophy went all out, and he wanted to give back. And like he said, this is a good chance for me to shoot for something like this because he doesn't consider himself maybe a top shooter, but I mean, everybody's going to have an opportunity at this.
Maybe we can get Cole to come out and shoot in it.
Maybe. We'll have to get after him with it.
We're trying to get as many people to come out as we can. If you were thinking about going to Ohio, and you were on the bubble, I think this is the thing that should push you there for sure. We're going to put the program in the show so you can kind of see the layout of the shoot like we talked about today. It'll show kind of how this Lewis breakout works. So if anyone has questions, please feel free to email us. Send them in, tag us on Facebook. If you see us at shoots in the next couple of weeks and you're wondering about it, ask me or Ricky, or Joe. Joe's always helpful. I mean, he's running this thing. And Joe, we appreciate you for, thinking outside of the box. I mean, here at Trap Talk, we're always interested in growing the game and getting some excitement back into it. And I think if people ask, well, how do you make the game better? Well, you don't make it better by sitting in the clubhouse and talking crap about what's going on. You go out there and you shake some things up and you do it. And if people, there's so many people, I mean, I hear it at the gun club, they're like, man, I wish it was this and I wish it was that. But you can do podcasts. You can go out and create events. You can raise donors. You can ask people to come. You can take a friend that's never shot to a shoot. You can, take somebody out to practice for the first time. If we want to have this sport around for the next couple hundred years, we need to keep involving more of the community and keep getting good people. And we get to choose who we invite. I mean, we get to say, hey, these are good people. Let's bring them in and let's have some fun and keep the community tight and fun. Because I know that's why we all keep coming back, is for that community and that friendship that we get from all around the country.
Yep. And that's, I wanted to kind of bring a little bit of new life to the game. I mean, we've done the same thing with trap shooting. Trap shooting is always the same thing. They don't want to do anything new. And I can't get some of my younger friends to join the sport. I do a league at my house. I got 45 guys that come shoot 5-stand at my house every Monday night, and they love it. And it's hard for me to get those guys to come shoot trap because they think it's kind of boring. There's nothing to shoot for. And I've got a bunch of those guys that are going to come down. There's a chance to win guns. There's a chance to win money. And they like the idea of it. And it's going to introduce them to trap shooting, and maybe they will come to a trap shoot after experiencing an event like this. And maybe this event
going to come out with 45 Sporting Clays guys, and they're going to win some bags and some money. They're going to be hooked. They're going to be like, oh, I'm in.
I'm in.
Well, yeah, awesome. And the good news is we don't have to worry about classification because everybody's on the 27.
Yep.
So, hey, there's no sandbaggers. If you're a Sporting Clays guy, skeet shooter, police, whatever, come on out. We'll take you and put you right on the fence. It'll be a fun time. Don't forget your full choke.
Exactly. And then just a quick review of how it's going to work. We're going to shoot doubles in the morning we're going to shoot handicap in the. Let me think about this. I'm going backwards here. I got them to switch it to shoot doubles first in the morning. So then we're going to switch the traps over, shoot the handicap event. While they're figuring out the shoot-offs for that handicap event, we're going to roll right into this event. We can get the event completed. They're going to shoot the day's handicap event off, and as soon as that's done is when we'll roll into the shoot-offs and the festivities for the gun and for the bags and for the high gun and all that stuff.
And I'm sure John will be there, and we'll have some microphones hot to interview some of the winners and do some fun stuff.
I was going to say is we might end up doing a live in-person podcast. We might mic up some people, possibly.
I'm pretty sure we will. The only thing I'm worried about is Ricky seeing that big pot and getting a little aggressive and maybe not being available for the podcast.
Hey, you can mic me up, no problem. I'll be like, ooh, Zach didn't hit that one very hard.
Oh man, you could feel the love on this show. I'm telling you,
we're gonna have fun. And listen, that's why I say, Joe come up with this idea, and it's great. Hopefully it'll bring some excitement back. The prizes, just everything. And hopefully by doing this might end up opening the doors, getting some more donors in, and we can make it, a real big event,
Yeah, I mean, these are once-a-year deals, and it's something that you get excited for. I mean, I've been excited since I heard about this, and I'm like, man, this year I'm really wanting to go check that out, and it's going to be a good time. So, Joe, we appreciate everything you do for the sport of trap. We appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to educate the people on what you're doing over there, and we wish you the best during your shooting season. And we'll see you. We'll see you in Ohio, bud.
In Ohio.
Ohio, Joe. We'll catch you at that bar. They got good.
We'll spend some time there, no doubt.
Maybe
we'll have to play some pool, Zach. We'll have to play some pool this year.
Hey, I ain't playing you for money. That's all I know. Be safe.
Take care, guys. Thanks again.
Everybody. Absolutely. See you, everybody.